Welcome to Thank God You're Not My Child. Remember, it's a comedy podcast where I talk about whatever I want to. And this week, I'm going to piss some people off. I'm 100% sure of it. But it's my shit soapbox. And so buckle up, go get your iced coffee or your margarita or your smokes, whatever you need, because this is going to be a doozy. So you know how your little kid is so cute? You see these videos on YouTube and all your socials. When that little kid says, bitch, and they're two, how cute it is. Okay, I laugh too. And I actually have some kids that are so responsible. Not my personal kids, but they could be. You know what I mean? That they're allowed to use any words at home that they want in the context they want. But they are so smart that they know the respect and when to use them and when not to use them, and definitely not at school, and definitely not to mom, dad, or if you are strong enough to mouth off to your grandma. Grandma. I'm going to tell you what my grandma do. I actually had 3 grandmas. I know. I have a stepdad. He's the one that's still alive. My real dad passed many years ago. And it was my grandma Ross. She liked to use that little flask water, and she didn't beat you, but if you did something, she might pop your little leg just a little bit to make you realize, what the hell? What'd I do, grandma? What'd I do, grandma? What'd I do? And you knew good and well what you did. And you knew that was just a little pop on the leg, and you knew to straighten your ass up because you didn't want grandma to get grandpa. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we look at these little kids now that are talking back to their parents, and I do get it. When my son Justin slipped off that step and said shit the first time, I might have been a little mortified. That was a long time ago. Remember, he's 35, so he was 32 years ago. A little mortified that my son was cussing. Don't really have those feelings now, but I was a little bit different back then. And I probably would still raise my kids the same way, you know? But after retiring for daycare, I just might have gotten kind of a mouthy mouth. And I've decided if I want to say the word fuck, I'm going to say fuck. I want to say that. But I also have that respect to know when to say it and when not to, if you understand what I mean. So we're going to go to the story that I seen. Y'all probably all seen it. I made a TikTok on it. So go follow my TikTok account. Thank God You're Not My Child. And yes, that's the name of my TikTok. I seen a video of this lady that recorded a grandpa in like Walmart. I believe it was Walmart. And she recorded him and said, he just slapped his granddaughter. And he, in no uncertain terms, let her know what his granddaughter did. And I'm going to tell you, in public, his granddaughter used profanity to her grandma and backtalk her right there in the middle of the store. And guess what Papa did to her? He popped that little cheek. He popped that little cheek because you know what? If it comes out of your mouth, there's a good possibility it's going to get slapped right there on your mouth or the side of your cheek. Those of you you remember those mumbling words when I mumbled that word bitch to my sister. My mama backhanded me, and that was the only time my mama had to ever backhand me. Because you know what? I fucking learned. So if you've got a mouthy kid, let's say that teenager that's telling you to fuck off, and you don't want him to tell you to fuck off, it's time to get real with him or her. Him. Because you can't go to work, cussing out people. Not on a regular job. You can't go to school, college, cussing people out. You're just not going to be able to do that. So why let your kids get away with that when they're young, when they're teenagers? Why let them think that that is okay? It's not. And believe me, you know, I can say what the fuck faster than anything. And my favorite thing to say, because of one of my favorite podcasts, Scared to Death, is when Lindsay says, get the fuck out. That is like one of my favorite sayings. And it has the word fuck in it. But you know what? It's just a word, people. But you have to know how to respect people with that word. You have to know how, when and when not to. And I'm going to tell you one thing. I got precious grandkids, every one of them. I got step grandkids. I believe my oldest step grandkid is, I believe Colton is 27, maybe 28. And you know, he got a sailor's mouth on him, but he's also smart as fuck that he's not going to do anything like that. All of them are. Because they know how to respect people. You understand? And that's what you're teaching your kids. If you want to let them cuss at home, you know what? My best friend lets her kids cuss at home and they fine. They great kids. They great kids. They know. They might look at their sister or their brother and say, you're a bitch. But they're not going to do that on the bus or at somebody's house or in a grocery store or anywhere because they know how to respect with their words. So, you know, my grandmas didn't let us get away with that. My grandma Velma Stubblefield, my stepdad's mom, I was closer to her than probably any of them. Yes, rest in peace, Grandma. She's only been gone a year and a half or so. It's still kind of new. Anyway, I'm recording this and it's been a hard week also because if I'm going to talk about people leaving, my real dad that's in heaven, he had 11 kids between all of us and I was smack dab in the middle. I actually was your worst middle kid that you could ever have. 5 below, 5 above. And I know them all. I spent summers with some of them when I was growing up. And was blessed enough, I'm going to say I was blessed enough to go on a cruise with my brother Robbie because he passed away this last weekend. He's my first sibling to pass away. And thinking of my grandmother made me think of my family and how much she loved anybody that was part of my family. I remember introducing my step-grandmother, Stubblefield, to my siblings from my other dad. And you know what? She loved them. She was a good Christian lady and she didn't care who they were. If I loved them, she loved them. That's what grandmas are. That's what grandmas are. I love you, brother. I know you're in heaven laughing at me talking about you on this podcast. Okay, so. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so your grandmother is definitely not somebody to cuss at people. I just couldn't imagine doing it. So, you know, I'm just going to tell you that that man that popped his little granddaughter on the face, which was a teenager, he didn't do it to no 3-year-old because there is a difference. You got a teenager smacking you, you're going to get a little smack on the face, if you know what I'm talking about, because we're not going to do that shit to grandma. You're not going to do it to grandma, grandpa, papa, anybody, if you know what I mean. So the fact that not only did someone catch it and then try to record it and made it go viral and so many people were going, I was shocked at the amount of people going, oh my gosh, you should never touch a child like that. How else are they fucking supposed to know not to smack talk grandmother? Because their mama and daddy failed them, or at least it sounds like they did, or they're testing their grandparents. So exactly what should happen if you're testing your grandparents? A little slap on the face, maybe? Go ahead. Hate on me. Hate on me. Hate on me or agree with me. It's not beating your kid. It's a little pop on the face, little pop. You don't say those words to me. Now, never did that in daycare because you know why? They're not my kids. That's where I came up with, thank God you're not my child. Yes, because I'm not going to do that to someone that's not my child. But you smack talk me? Mm, my daughter got it once. She got it just once. My son got more of a on the wall kind of because he was bigger than I was, if you know what I mean. But I never had to do much punishment with my kids because they knew they were going to respect people. So when you guys are making videos and saying, oh my God, they spanked their child, I'm not talking about beating people. If you see somebody pop a little mouth because of a bad word come out, shut the fuck up. If you see somebody whop that little diaper on the back because they're throwing a fit and tell them to straighten up, let them be parents. Let them be parents. If you see somebody literally beating someone, take over. Stop it. But a little slap on the butt or a little pop on the mouth, guys, let them be fucking parents in public. Because I've seen videos saying I can't do anything because CPS will come to me if I just pop their little butt. You know what? Slap the little hand. Tell them no, no, no. You know that? No, 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 no. You know what it is. You know what it is. And this right here is my shit soapbox. And last night I decided that I understood why I called it a shit soapbox. This DeLorean that Evan, my future husband, anyway, what he made actually is a bathroom. The side I record on is bathroom. The toilet's been taken out and soap's been used. So this literally was a shit box. It was a shit box. You shit in it. The other side's like open for like a porch and set in. If it's raining, you can put the doors up like the DeLorean. That's why he named it DeLorean. And then there's not my fat ass, but there's a spot on the top that his cute little tushy could fit up there and sleep if he really had to. My fat ass, you're going to be outside in the rain because it ain't fitting up there. But it really is. I sit and record and talk to you guys in my shit soapbox because I use soap to clean it. Make sense? Yeah, you know it. And if you agree with me on all of these, maybe we can be little shits together. You know what? I've always been a little shit. But I think I'm going to be 55 soon, and then I'll turn into a big shit. Big shit. Okay, now I wanted to go to a story. Hopefully I'm not going to make it too long, but my story. I've already told the story about when my mom popped my little mouth for calling my sister a bitch under my breath. I think that might be on the mumbling episode. And remember, when you go back into my first episodes, I had some echoing. I had some sounds. The first few, I had birds. Oh, this has been a learning curve. So remember, go ahead, DM me how bad it sucks. But please, if you hear something good, tell me it's sounding better. Okay, so I'm going to tell a story about the only time my stepdad, because that's who I was with most of my life. I think they got married right around when I was 3. So, I'm 54 years old. That's a long fucking time. He my dad. I had 2 dads. He my dad. Anyway, I was rude to my mom and I got in trouble at school. I was going to Spring Hill High School in Spring Hill, Texas. Over there close to where like Neil McCoy lives. I remember that. I was so young. I just loved him. When he had that long hair, the little mullet in the back. Oh my gosh. Okay. Shake out of it. Okay. Anyway, I got in trouble, for baking. If you listen to that about me baking a frog in a pie for my biology teacher and the principal. Anyway, so I had a week of sitting inside that room all by myself and with the bathroom, and they brought lunch in there, and they brought all my homework in there. Not only that, there was also a window where the teachers could watch me when they were on break or something, so they knew I wasn't misbehaving. And this was long before cell phones, so you're talking about putting someone that has ADHD because she did something wrong into a room to where she can't see anything, but go to the bathroom and sit there in a chair or lay there on the floor and do homework. Yeah, those teachers might have heard a little bit of singing, a little bit of dancing. But anyway, my mom wasn't too happy at me doing this because, there's no just because. I don't know why she didn't like it when I misbehaved. So I got in an argument with her. And in the midst of second day, I had a whole week from that little incident. a whole week, people, of that room. And about 2 days in, one night, just got into it with my mom and said some things I should not have said to her. Rude. And when you love somebody so much, oh, I was that 17-year-old, I can do it myself person. You either had it or you've seen it. And my dad stepped in because mom was just crying because I was saying some hurtful things. I don't remember what I said because I was 17, but I can guarantee you when you talk like that to somebody, even though you still love them, and I mean, she's my mom and I love her more than just pretty damn near almost anybody. And I'm sure those words are ingrained on her heart because I said them. So I guess I should say sorry, Mom. I'm sure I have in the past because, I was 17. But anyway, my dad stepped in and all I remember was telling him to fuck off. And fuck was not the word to say in my house. Mom did not. If you accidentally said damn shit, anything like that, she might forgive you. But you sure didn't use that word because she just didn't like that word. She said it just sounds so vulgar, which I can see. I can see that. So anyway, he slapped my cheek. Slapped the sense right into me. At least he tried. But I left the house and had friends outside, and I got in that little car with my friends and drove to their house. And you know what? I can fucking do it myself. And I stayed with friends, and the only difference at the friend's house was, well, it was an apartment. Oh, hold on. We lived in an apartment too. It was 2 different areas of town. That was the difference, but she didn't have a dad. That was the only difference. It ran, her sisters and all, it ran just like my house. So it was comfortable and all, but it wasn't my home. And so I'm in this sack, and which was what they called it. And it was a Friday, and it just hit me that, oh my God, I just said that to my mom, and my dad slapped me, and I'm so wrong. And I left school, and of course got in trouble for that too, because I didn't say anything. I just walked out and walked probably, I'm thinking 12 miles maybe, just in the rain, back to my mom to be on my knees and apologize. And I'm so sorry. What was I thinking? And I think that's probably the worst thing I really did to my mom ever was that 17-year-old, I can fucking do it myself, And if you know many teenagers, a lot of them have done that. I've had a few do it, and you come around. Just to let you know, guys, your mama and your daddy and your grandparents, I pray, are some of the most positive people in your life. Because that's what I want to be to my kids. I have very awesome, independent kids. Sometimes it makes me sad that they don't need me as much, but you know what? They need me. They need me to always be there when they need something. They need me to check in on them like, hey, how you doing today? How you feeling? What's up? What you got going on? What you eating today? Whatever it takes, And if you don't have those, be one of those. Be one of those moms. Be one of those grandmothers if you're older. Just be one that you just love them, And let's just go ahead and stop recording and bitching about people popping the little kids on their ass. Now, you see them beaten. What are you supposed to do? You stop that shit. If I see somebody getting beat, I'm sorry. I'll probably die for them. But if I see you popping your little butt, slapping that little hand, telling them, don't you say that to your mouth. You know what, Mama? You know what, Daddy? I got your back. You do what you need to do. Remember, though, there's a line between a beating and a popping. And that's the line that we're always on. Never go so far to beat your child. Well, I think I've probably told you more than I know. I don't think I knew all of that. Okay, just laugh at it just a little bit. But if you want to DM me because I'm still getting listening stories. In a couple of weeks, we're going to just have some listener stories, and they're actually funny ones. We're going to have some funny stories on my first listeners episode. I want funny ones. So you can email me at Thank God You're Not My Child podcast at yahoo.com, or DM me at any of my socials. I'm on all of them. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X, everything. Thank God You're Not My Child. Anyway, until next time, respect people. Only slap them if you have to.